It's the most wonderful time of the year. Kids jingle belling. I actually don't know the lyrics. I was going to sing the next bit, but the once year Jillian Michaels revamp to stay relevant. It's here. For her talking to her Instagram for all to hear loud and clear. Look, we all knew it was coming. It's like Mariah Carey just miraculously appearing at Christmas time again. Or having a bad stomach after Taco Bell. Look, I wasn't going to make this video because all she's doing is doing it to try and stay a bit relevant. Like, she has a decent following. She needs controversy in her life. But it seems like everyone's talking about it, and so, yeah.
About Jillian Michaels.
Jillian Michaels. I had no really idea who that was.
Here I am, making a YouTube video about it. You know what I thought I'd do today? Is what I'm going to do is just watch the video through and kind of do a live reaction. I actually really wasn't going to do this video because look, one, she's restricted the comments on her posts. You know, she's kept the ones she likes. She's responded to the ones she likes. Any negativity or anyone saying that she's wrong, she's deleted. That just shows her character. She can come out and voice her opinion and be really strongly against something. And then if someone argues back, she just deletes it. Just let it sink in. And two, it's hard to listen to someone that has a very questionable training methodology herself. You know, like, you get the gym fails where the people just, like, act up in the gym to get a fail video. Because that's what you do to get views. She kind of almost does it, but with that much confidence, you know? That people are like, maybe I'll go and try this. Don't. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. Bring on the excitement. I can't wait. Jazz is here too. Neither can she. We have been waiting all week to watch this, haven't we? Whoa.
So excited.
What day is it? Whoa, Monday night. Hey, Monday night. All right, let's get into it.
So, a quick video.
Hold on a second, she says a quick video. How long is this thing? Yeah, it's literally like 9 minutes long. That's not quick.
That's like when I say, could I just borrow you for a minute, Craig?
Yeah, you know it's gonna be 2 hours.
For you guys on the elements of CrossFit that I don't love.
Okay, so she loves some elements of CrossFit. She just doesn't love some elements as well.
And you might think, haven't we been over this? And I thought...
We all thought that, yep. You did it before. I already made a video on it.
I thought we've been over this in spades, but I was noticing a lot of questions coming to me in my app forums about CrossFit and sometimes in the comments on these videos about it, so I figured can't hurt to do a video on it. Look, I am not trying to bash anybody, but when...
Okay, so when she said she's not trying to bash anybody, but that means she's going to bash someone or something. It's just a fact. You don't say that and then don't bash anything.
That's what she said.
Here it comes. Yeah, that's what she said.
But when asked a question, I'm going to answer it with my personal opinion. Now... Which
we don't care about, but for this video we do.
Now, my personal opinion in fitness is based on years of working in fitness and working with individuals who I believe are the best of the best. So when I tell you it's...
If you've been working with the best of the best in the fitness industry, what have you been working with? Because gee whiz, like the training clips, you saw them, I ain't going to play them again. But if that's what the world of fitness has to offer as its best, we are in trouble.
So when I tell you it's an opinion, it isn't just random, I don't like this. It's based on things that I have learned about and put through paces over decades to see like what works, what doesn't.
Get on with it, you're boring me.
All right, so first of all, what don't I like? Well, you're taking some of the most advanced fitness modalities in the world. Gymnastics, Olympic lifts, for example. These are for elite athletes, right?
There's grassroots of everything.
Yeah, there's grassroots.
You're not just born a professional Olympic weightlifter. That is the biggest load of tosh that I've ever heard. You've got to start somewhere.
Look, she has a point. Some of these moves are very complex. I wonder what she's going to say about them.
Right? And, hence the term Olympic lifts. And not only are you making them sort of accessible to the masses, which there are parts of that I like, but parts of it I really don't. For this reason, if we made those things accessible to the masses, then we would have to defer to the expertise of the coach. Like, I would never in my wildest dreams go out and try to teach an Olympic lift. And I have taken probably at least 20 separate training sessions from people who specialize in Olympic lifts just so I can understand it, get the benefits of it. And I wouldn't even dare to attempt to teach it because it's so technical.
Well, that's fine.
Well, you've got to be qualified to teach it.
Yeah, you've got to be qualified to teach it. Just because you took 20 classes doesn't mean that you're a qualified teacher. I kind of get where she's. Let's just carry on. But I feel like I know what the point she's getting at is going to be.
And with something like CrossFit, you can get a certification. The barrier to entry is like this. I mean, when you're teaching somebody gymnastics, you're teaching somebody Olympic lifts, my hope is that you are an absolute pro, the consummate expert, no matter who you're instructing, be it Olympic athletes or, God forbid, the average bear who just wants to go to a workout class.
I fully get it. To be a CrossFit coach, like, you have to do, a weekend to get a level 1, and you can actually go out there and teach people. And from my personal experience, I've seen a lot of people out there that are terrible at Olympic lifting and gymnastics and trying to coach. Like, it's not a good thing. It really isn't. But then on the same thing, I've seen some of the best coaches in CrossFit and learned so much from people in terms of Olympic lifting and gymnastics who have the CrossFit certification and have spent years and years dedicating themselves to it.
It's almost as if they could do with shadowing a more elite coach. But again, like, everyone has to start somewhere. Like, you don't just become Shane Orr. Like, You don't.
There's
steps before
There's
that.
only one Shane Orr.
Yeah. I mean, that is the impossible task, but everyone tries, right?
Yeah, look. It's the same thing in the personal training world, though. It's pretty easy to get a certification. You get some amazing personal trainers out there that train the stars, and you get some people that you look at and you go, how are you a personal trainer? But she's just bringing up the point again. Like, that's the point she brought up last time.
I feel like there's a lot of people out there in jobs that they are not very good at.
Yeah, including me. I mean, she's saying that people have to be taught by the best of the best. People don't have access to the best of the best. There's not the best of the best everywhere in the world. There's only certain people who are the best of the best. Shane?
My third is, I really don't want to understand the trainer logic. I don't get it. It has yet to be explained to me in a way that I really understand. Now, obviously, there are some incredible coaches that do have a CrossFit box. There is a guy named Kelly Starrett who I worship and think is a genius. He wrote a book called Supple Leopard. The guy is brilliant. I've read his book cover to cover 3 times. And made him a friend because I am such a fan of his work. But
I made him a friend because I'm a fan of his work.
You will be my friend.
You will be my friend because I'm a fan of your work.
Not everybody is Kelly Starrett. In fact,
Not everyone is Jillian Michaels.
So when it comes to CrossFit programming, while I gather it has now sort of evolved into 3 days on, 1 day off.
That's very generic. I mean, I do 3 days on, 1 day off. But programming is very, you've put that in a very small box there as programming.
I still don't understand the programming. To me, CrossFit is exercising, but it's not about having a plan.
Jillian, it depends on when in the season you are, what your goals are in CrossFit. Some people go to a CrossFit class just to lose weight, just to tone up, just to kind of get a little bit better. And sometimes that just happens through exercising regularly. It's just a fact. 2, if you're in the off season, a lot of athletes have a plan to get stronger. So they will do Metcons, they will do exercise, but their exercise will be focused on building strength, hitting the compound lifts, building up the muscle. When we come up to the open, a lot of the time we'll increase the cardiovascular side and make it more open specific so we get fitter and we structure our training that way so then we can hit the open as fit as we possibly can. It really depends on the time. It's not just random training. A lot of the time you are just doing random Metcons, right? In CrossFit, like, you're doing random Metcons. But at the same time, along with that, especially if you're in a good box, you should be doing periodized either strength building or cardiovascular building. There should be some sort of underlying plan in terms of for you to get better.
I feel like
Also-
he's targeting both ends of the spectrum, though. Like anybody that's of an elite level enough that's targeting competitions will have a plan. But why can't you go in there with no plan, just to have fun, just to stay fit and healthy? Like, why do you... Some people just want to go and move after work for an hour and then go home.
The other point is we're only 6 minutes in. The other point is we're only 3 minutes in. We've got 6 minutes just to go.
Having a training specific program and then progressing that plan. To me, it seems like beating after beating after beating after beating.
Beating after beating after beating after beating.
Sometimes I do feel like that with training, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
She was a little bit accurate with that.
When I once was instructed to do a CrossFit workout with an old friend, we did 10 box jumps, 1 burpee, 9 box jumps, 2 burpees, all the way down the ladder. The time I was done, my shoulders were killing me. I jammed the hell out of my toe from all those burpees, and my form was a mess.
How
How
can
do
you...
you mess up a burpee?
How do you
lie down on the floor and you get back up again?
Exactly my point. How do you mess up a burpee? I mean, obviously she's not moving very well if her shoulders hurt and her toes hurt.
And I was like, what is the logic here? Other than just me being exhausted? No answer. So again,
The logic there is that, yeah, doing one workout isn't going to make you any fitter. But you do similar workouts like that 4 or 5 times a week, you're going to get fitter. You're going to lose weight, maybe, depending on muscle mass and whatever. You're going to tone up. You're going to become a better human. What's the point of going to the gym and just going on the treadmill for half an hour?
There really is no point to that, though. That's a terrible idea.
Well,
and teach me the logic. I want to know the logic, but there's no logic to that. I don't understand that. On top of which, speaking of trainer logic, when you have exercises that are so technical, like Olympic lifts or gymnastics, why are you doing them for time? So when you say, we're going to do this really technical move, but we're going to do as many reps as we can for time, these are really dangerous things to be doing for time. It's not an air squat, right? It's not as many push-ups as you can do, by the way, with good form, and your form becomes compromised. By the time I was on the 10 to 1, like burpee 1,575, I was a mess. I looked like crap. My form was falling apart. It wasn't focused. So that's another part that I don't understand, taking modalities that are so intense and so technical and doing them for time. That doesn't personally make sense to me.
yeah. Look, I get that argument. Doing Olympic lifts and whatever for time can be seen as a bit kind of like, what are you doing? These are very technical. But a lot of the time the weights that are used are not heavy. And this is where sometimes CrossFit does get slack. It does depend on the athlete and their ability, and they should be able to be aware, and coaches in the class, if they're working with them, to be aware that compromisation in form isn't a good thing, and that weight and movement is everything. You look at like Tia, she's a Commonwealth gold medalist in weightlifting from CrossFit. It's because she moves well.
Another time I saw Greg Glassman, who was the original founder, talking about how he didn't believe in muscle splits. I don't know if that's changed, but muscle splits are when you say, okay, I'm going to train certain muscles on certain days, and then I'm going to let them rest while I train other muscles on other days so that I can get optimal recovery. Now, you might build in a rest day after 3 days of CrossFit, which wasn't a thing 5 years ago when I had friends that were obsessed with it, but it is now, as far as I can tell. But if you don't believe in muscle splits, and you're killing yourself as hard as you are in CrossFit day 1, then you're going to go do it again day 2, then you're going to do it again day 3.
Muscle splits are a thing in CrossFit. This is just a lack of education thing, right? There are muscle splits within CrossFit, but you're not smashing a muscle group like you would chest. You wouldn't just over and over and over and over rep a muscle group until you've literally torn them to shreds, so they need those days to recover. Full body metcons don't tend to do as much damage, depends on how many reps you're doing, but I mean, if you look at splits, we'll usually do like a squat, pull, push day, and around those we'll program the metcons and the heavy lifts with it. So there is kind of a split in CrossFit.
And the exercises are pull up, push up, sit up, squat, wall ball, battle rope. Like, we're not saying we're doing push muscles on Monday and we're going to let them rest for a few days.
That's exactly what we're saying we are doing.
So if you're doing the same exercises for 3 days in a row, I don't understand that training plan. I don't understand it.
You don't have to understand it because you clearly don't understand it.
When you train in particular as hard as you do in a CrossFit workout, you need time to recover. So I wouldn't want to do a workout that hammered my back or my chest and then hit those muscles again the next day or even a third day in a row. I'll be honest with you, every friend I have who was into CrossFit had a serious injury. Serious, whether it was a heart attack or a shoulder issue or you name what.
You're telling me CrossFit will make you have a heart attack? What are you on about?
I feel like
Woman? There was some injury rates I saw somewhere about CrossFit and it wasn't as high as people think.
I used to horse ride. Do you have any idea how dangerous that is?
Yeah, you used to get those
CrossFit's way
injuries.
safer.
Yeah. And to be fair, talking about injuries too, I'm a biscuit. Like, I used to get injured playing football more times than I've actually been injured doing CrossFit.
Personally, I've known probably 7 people over the last decade who were really into it. All 7 are no longer doing it for those reasons. Not to say you can't be a CrossFitter and be in great shape, but it depends on the quality of your coach and the athlete that is engaged in that modality, right?
Truth. Yeah. You need a good quality coach in CrossFit, someone who cares, and you need the athlete who also cares. I agree with that.
So for me, look, I love that people love CrossFit. I love that they love working out. I love that they love the community it provides. But I wouldn't even want somebody doing a yoga workout every day. I wouldn't want you running every day or 3 days in a row, crazy running workouts. This is where, personally, I would say if you love it, great. Find an unbelievable coach. And honestly, I think for CrossFit, you need somebody with a degree. Your coach should have a degree in exercise science. I would not be screwing around with Olympic lifts and gymnastics and all of these really advanced modalities unless you've got somebody who knows how to modify and program those workouts for the athletes in their class. And I wouldn't do it more than twice a week.
Wow, twice a week.
Twice a week is good, with at least 2 days off between sessions.
Twice a week with 2 days off between sessions. And having a degree to teach CrossFit, I don't think. Like, a lot of the best coaches in the world don't have degrees. Just because you don't, and there's a lot of people out there that have degrees which you wonder how they have degrees. Jillian Michaels' education background. I don't have a university or college degree. I do have formal training though, as well as continuing education. In my opinion, one can have an entire wall full of certificates and degrees, but doesn't make them a great pro at their job. There's literally the words that she said.
So at the very least, you are programming solid recovery.
But now she's talking about periodization, programming, everything. But you don't have a degree, so why would you listen to her? Because your training's just going to go down the pan. Because she doesn't have a degree, Jazz.
If you're going to train that hard. So those would be my personal recommendations, is if you love it, don't do it more than twice a week. Separate the days. Make sure your coach is top quality if you're going to engage in a modality that advanced. And I mean, this is my personal opinion. Sorry if you don't agree with me. Not here to bash anyone. But that's where I fall on it.
I agree with her on some points. I don't agree with her on a lot of points. Look, she brings up the same typical CrossFit stuff that, basically, if you're a good coach, you do CrossFit a good service. If you're a bad coach, you do CrossFit a pretty bad service. But also at the same time, it comes down to the athlete and how much they care about the quality of movement, how much they care about what they're going to put into it, recovery-wise, training-wise. You've all seen that person in the gym that's super keen, puts too much weight on their bar, moves like crap, and you tell them and they don't care. And they're going to get injured and probably moan about it. But then you have the people like the Matt Frasers and the Tia Claire Toomeys that move super well and have done that consistently for years. And bada boom, bada bing, won many championships.
I feel like she's treating everyone the same though. Like it's like telling me not to go into the gym and train like The Rock. Like imagine the injuries that I would cause myself if I literally tried to train like The Rock.
No, if The Rock tried to train like you, babe.
Well, exactly. I mean, he would be in trouble. It's common sense. Like if you really, really ache that much, you just take a rest day. You go to class the day after. But if you're Tia Claire Toomey, you can train on a different level. I feel like she's just randomly pulling in different levels of CrossFit into one bundle, and it's not really.
For me, Jillian Michaels, she's looking at it from the outside in. She's probably done a couple of classes. I mean, you don't learn about a sport or how it functions or how it's broken down in 2 or 3 sessions. CrossFit, when you first walk into it, looks chaos. The workouts are pretty chaos and it's going to hurt. If you walk into the gym, you're probably going to feel the same. If you walk into a general commercial gym, you're probably going to feel the same if you never trained before. That's all I have to say on it today. Look, if you want to listen to Jillian Michaels, you go ahead and do that. I ain't going to stop you. Jazz ain't going to stop you.
Carla might.
Carla might. Yeah, I'm almost kind of bored of it. Like I got 3 minutes into that and I went, why am I making this video? She's so blooming boring. It's so boring. You know what I mean? Look team, CrossFit is bad for you. Don't do it. You're going to get injured. Only find a person with the degree to teach you. And smash that like button. Peace and love. We'll catch you in the next one. That was painful. That was utterly painful.
Don't forget, if you did chest today, take a month off, people.
Yeah.